So first of all, David, congratulations on the film. You did a fantastic job playing Hellboy.
Thank you.
I can't imagine what it's like to step into a world with such a huge fan base. So do you remember the moment you got the call?
Yes, I do. Yes. We were shooting season 2 of Stranger Things, and they called me, and basically they were like, they want you to be the new Hellboy. And I was like, okay, that's strange. And they sent me the script, and they sort of pitched me this idea that it would be a brutal, really horror-based Hellboy. And I started to get really excited. At first, I was, daunted, and I think that the Guillermo del Toro films, and when Hellboy was played by Ron Perlman, they're so great and such interesting films. I'm a fan. And I was like, if we do this, I want to make sure that we do something completely different. And they assured me that we would, and it is. It's like a very, gory, kind of horror-based superhero movie, which I don't think we have out there. And I loved it. So, I just got really excited. I mean, it's a great opportunity, and it's a wonderful character, and I'm really happy that he's coming back to the screen.
The filmmakers loved how you internalized the story as well as the character. So how did you adapt to making Hellboy your own? Or in other words, how did you add David Harbour to this?
That's a good question. I think you're always merging the personal and the character, and I think that's when it gets really good. And we all are sort of telling certain stories. I mean, Scott Fitzgerald said that we all have basically one story to tell. And I think the Hellboy story is sort of close to me. I mean, it's really to me, at its essence, it's an identity piece. Like, he has all this stuff inside him that is deemed destiny, but it could be genetics or impulses or desires or feelings that are not great, that are going to bring about the apocalypse. And then he has this conscious will who chooses to be the man that he is. And he has to make a devil's bargain, because if he cuts off that other part of himself to help humans and to be a good guy, he's actually cutting off a very vital piece of himself. He's cutting off, what he loves to a certain degree for the good of other people. And I think that's a very special thing, and that's really what I wanted to focus on in terms of his arc and journey.
Did you identify with any aspects of his personality?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's got this great quality that I love, where he uses humor in very specific psychological ways. Like, he'll use humor to provoke people or to mess with them. And he'll also use humor to undercut things when he's embarrassed. And I think both of those things really resonated with me. I do that a lot myself.
Is there a Hellboy trait you wished you had?
I wish, I really like, I mean, I guess it's not a trait, but I really like those horns.
There you go.
I'd like to have horns.
I read that you were in an intense, weird place for Hellboy. So is that your process as an actor for all roles, or is it specifically for this one?
I mean, it's all, a lot of it is intense and weird, but I guess it's always specific to each role and different to each role. I found that Hellboy, he's a lot louder than a lot of my characters in many different ways. Like, he's angry, and he says in the comics, I have a problem with anger, and he's loud about it, whereas other characters would be more internal. So I found myself just being kind of loud in that kind of anger, not so much vocally always, but like kind of living with this anger and being weird and being loud about it. And that was a weird place, but people were excited, and they just were very protective of me and sweet, especially like Mila was always like, taking care of me, kind of like, leave him alone, let him do his thing. And I really appreciate that.
And lastly, I heard the craziest story that you came face to face with a 4,000-pound bull while shooting in Bulgaria. Is that true?
Yes, that is true. But apparently, I think I've taken the weight limit up a little bit much. I think it was only, because somebody said to me like 2,000 pounds is the weight of a bull. So I've embellished the weight. But yes, we were shooting, and it was on this bridge in Plovdiv, in this town in Bulgaria. Came barreling down the bridge and just stopped right in front of me and did this whole thing with his hooves and snorting. And there I am in red, like a completely red outfit. And I think he was upset that I shaved my horns in embarrassment. And he was like, "What's wrong with you?" But he was ushered off set by these large Bulgarian men with sticks. But it was terrifying. I thought I was going to die in a Hellboy outfit in Bulgaria. It's not the way I want to go.
Thank you so much, David, for chatting with us. And again, like I said, this is fantastic and wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.